detectives, and welcome to my video for November. Now, it has been a really exciting month for me. First of all, the title and cover for Daisy and Hazel's 6th full-length adventure have been revealed. The book is going to be called A Spoonful of Murder, and the beautiful cover by Nina Tara, once again, you can see on my website now. You can also pre-order the book everywhere, on Amazon, on Waterstones, at your local independent bookstore, because it is coming out on the 8th of February next year, which maybe seems like a long way away, but actually is less than 4 months away now. The next exciting thing that's happened is that my 5th book, Mistletoe and Murder, has its own new shiny cover for 2017. It is still beautifully red, but it is now sparkly foil. I absolutely love it. I think it looks really, really great. Now, this is the book that you may have read last year. It is the same text, but it has one special extra thing, and that thing is that it has a special Christmas short story in it narrated by Beanie. If you have my book Cream Buns and Crime, you will have read that story already, but I always really wanted Beanie's story to be in the same book as Mistletoe Murder, because of course it's the other side of what happened that Christmas. While Hazel and Daisy were solving a murder in Cambridge, Beanie was having a very different adventure in London. I am so pleased that the two stories are together at last, and I think it makes Mistletoe and Murder even more special. Now, if you think this looks absolutely beautiful and you would like it for Christmas, I have some really good news for you. And that is that I'm going to be giving away 12 of these beautiful books during the beginning of December. So what you need to do is watch my social media, watch my website, watch my Instagram, watch this channel, and you hopefully will be able to see 12 ways to win 12 copies of this book this Christmas. I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait to start giving these books away. On to my book picks for this month. This has been a really exciting and very special month for me because I have had not just one special Agatha Christie experience, but two. And those extremely special, extremely different experiences have made me choose not just one, but two Agatha Christie novels to talk to you about this month. But before we get to that, I have chosen 3 recent novels that I really enjoyed reading for the first time this month. And the first book that I have chosen is Squirrel Girl, Squirrel Meets World by Shannon and Dean Hale. Some of you may have heard about the comic book Squirrel Girl. It stars a student called Doreen Green, whose secret alter ego is Squirrel Girl. She is a girl with the powers of a squirrel, which of course she uses to save the world and be extremely funny. I love the Squirrel Girl comics. They're one of my favorite ongoing comics, and I think Squirrel Girl is a fantastic hero. I like how much she eats. I like how great she is at friendship and kindness. She really is the superhero that we need today. I also really love Shannon Hale, and so when I found out that Shannon Hale had written the novel of the Squirrel Girl comics, I was so excited. And I'm very happy to tell you that this book did not disappoint me. It was just as exciting, just as funny, just as clever as I was hoping for, and I think actually a little bit more. This book stars Doreen Green when she is only 14. She is not quite the Squirrel Girl we know and love yet. She is still learning about her place in the world. And in this story, she moves house. She moves to the East Coast from the West Coast, and she has to join a new school and make new friends. And poor Doreen thinks she's going to fit in, but doesn't. And so the beginning of this book is a really great fish out of water story, as Doreen starts to have to learn a new school, new rules, and make totally new friends. The friend she makes is Anna Sophia, who is a fantastic and very cool sidekick for her, and together they take on a mysterious force that is patrolling the neighborhood and herding squirrels and herding dogs and creating mechanized chaos. I don't want to say too much more about the adventure because you should be surprised by it, but I will tell you that the denouement was as exciting as anything I have read in a comic book, that Doreen and Anna Sophia are a fantastic duo, that I got totally hooked into the adventure. If you like comic book heroes, if you like exciting stories, if you like funny school stories, if you like friendship stories, this book is for you. Of course, it's also for you if you love squirrels. This book made me love squirrels even more than I already do. We have a squirrel in our garden called Chester, and he is so cute. I love watching him. My mum doesn't love him quite as much, but I love Chester. So this was a great book because I could read a lot about squirrels, just like Chester, saving the world. I would say that you would enjoy this book if you're about 8, 9 plus. It really is for about the same age group as enjoy the Squirrel Girl comics, which is anyone older than 8. Adults can read it, kids can read it. It will work perfectly for both, and I really, really recommend it. The next book I've chosen is another animal adventure story, but it doesn't star animals and humans or superheroes, it stars bunnies. It is Potkin One Ear by Kieran Larwood, and it is the first of a whole series about Podkin, the hero, and his exciting adventures. When I was younger, I loved a series called Redwall. It was about a group of warrior mice who went on daring adventures and saved the day and had delicious feasts. And this book is the first book I've read as an adult that makes me remember that series and feels a lot like that series. It is a world where everyone is a rabbit and they are all going about their business happily until a group of evil warrior rust red rabbits pop up from the earth and start taking over the whole world. And the normal rabbits are pretty much powerless to stop them until a little boy rabbit called Podkin is born. And he and his brother and his sister escape when their warren is overtaken by these evil rabbits, and they go on the run and they make friends and they start learning about how to defeat these evil metallic rust rabbits. This is a very exciting book, it's very fun, it's very shocking, there's lots of battles in it, lots of danger and peril. I loved Podkin, I loved his brother and his sister, and I really had to know what happened to them. But of course, because these are rabbits, as well as being dangerous fighting rabbits, they're also really, really cute, and the illustrations by David Wyatt I think are fantastic. I loved looking at them, and I loved tracking Podkin and his siblings in the map that is in this book. And I think any really good book should have a map in it, and Podkin One Ear has a map. As I say, I loved this book. I read it in about 24 hours. I couldn't get enough of it, and now I can't wait to read the next book in the series. You will love this book if you love animal stories, if you love adventure stories, if you love danger and battle and slightly old medieval kind of stories. I would say again that this book is perfect for 8 plus. Now, the next book I've chosen is for slightly older readers, and it is Indigo Donut by Patrice Lawrence. Patrice is a fantastic writer, and you may have heard of her because her first book, Orange Boy, won the Waterstones Prize this year. This is the follow-up to Orange Boy, but it's not the sequel. It is a totally new standalone book, although like Orange Boy, it is all about a London teenager. And the London teenager this book is about is obviously Indigo. She is a teenager who lives in care. She was taken away from her parents at a very young age because something really, really tragic and awful happens to her. And it makes her very angry, it makes her very unsettled, very unhappy, till she meets a boy called Bailey. And Bailey has his own troubles. His parents are both basically social workers, and when he and Indigo become friends and then start falling in love with each other, his parents are extremely unhappy. This book is all about Indigo and Bailey trying to fall in love and stay in love against the odds, but it is really also a mystery story. It's the question of, where did Indigo come from? Why is she the way she is? What happened in her past to make her that way? And can she overcome it? Or is it really part of who she is? This is a wonderful book. It's really well written, it's really exciting, it's really heartfelt and quite upsetting at times. It really reminded me of what it was like to be a teenager, and because I'm a Londoner, it made me very happy because it was full of all my favourite London places and sights and things. I would say this was for older readers. I would say 14 plus. I think you will love it if you love Orange Boy, if you love stories about the present day, if you love stories about romance, star-crossed lovers, stories with mystery in them, stories about family and finding out who you are, you will really, really enjoy this book. Now, on to my classic picks, and as I've said, this month it's all about Agatha Christie, and I have chosen not just one Agatha Christie, but 2, and you will see why. The first book is one that I have chosen before, but I do have to mention it again. It is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. And the reason why I've chosen this, of course, is because this month the new movie of Murder on the Orient Express is out now. It stars Kenneth Branagh as Hercule Poirot, and it is beautifully filmed. It's got a gorgeous cast. It's really well made. And I know that if you like my book, First Class Murder, you will love the film and you will love the book that it's based on, Murder on the Orient Express. This genuinely is one of my very favourite Agatha Christie books. I kind of love them all, but this is one I keep coming back to because it's so clever. It's got such a wonderful setting. The Orient Express train, it's in the snow, it's got this lovely, slightly Christmassy feel. It's very dangerous, it's very exciting. I read it again and again. I've read it a lot of times. I've seen all of the adaptations and I absolutely love this story. So that is my first pick for a classic book this month. I think I read it when I was about 13 for the first time, and I really have been reading it most years ever since. It is that special to me. My next pick is a book that has a very creepy title and an even creepier cover in the edition that I have. It is The Hound of Death by Agatha Christie. I really vividly remember reading this book again when I was about 12. And I had read some of Agatha Christie's murder mysteries before this, but this was the first book that I read of hers that was more creepy. It wasn't just about murder, it wasn't just about a puzzle, it was about really scary things. This is one that you should read with the lights on in the middle of the day because some of the stories are straight up mystery stories, but some of them are a whole lot more creepy. And one of the creepiest ones, one that I couldn't get out of my head, was a story called Witness for the Prosecution. And I am very excited to say that this particular story other people thought was creepy too. Somebody persuaded Agatha Christie to turn it from a short story into a whole courtroom drama, a play. Then it was made into a movie and it was made into a TV show last Christmas. And now the play version of it has been revived and it is playing in London at the moment. And a couple of weeks ago, I went to see it. And this is the beautiful playbill from it. I had the best time. It was such a wonderful play of Witness for the Prosecution. They did it really well. And additionally, something really exciting happened to me, and that was that I was sitting in the jury box. I got really overexcited and I booked tickets on the very first day they were available, so I got the best tickets possible. And I sat in jury box 1. And when you sit in jury box 1, it turns out you get to be part of the play. Because at the end of the play, the jury have to give their verdict on the prisoner, Leonard Vole. The whole play is about whether or not he killed someone. And at the end, the jury has to give their verdict. And I got to be the one who stood up and gave the verdict to the whole courtroom and to the whole theatre. It was amazing. I had the best time. I didn't mess up my lines and I'm very proud of myself. So now I can say that I have been in an Agatha Christie play, which is pretty wonderful. So those are my book picks for November. I'll be back in December with loads more bookish excitement. I'll have loads more picks for you, of course, especially Christmas themed. But just before I go, I do want to wish all of my American viewers a happy Thanksgiving. I am filming this a couple of days before Thanksgiving and I think I'll probably put it up on Thanksgiving Day itself. I have my tin of Libby's pumpkin pie mix, which is the only way, as you will know if you are American at all, it's the only way to make pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, and I am going to do that on Thursday to celebrate Thanksgiving. It is one of my favorite holidays because it is all about eating. You do not give presents, you do not have to worry about that, you just spend time with your very favorite people and you eat a whole lot of really lovely food. So if you do celebrate, happy Thanksgiving. If you don't, do go find some Americans and try pumpkin pie. Have a lovely end of November and I will see you in December. Until then, bye-bye.